frankly undemocratic system, the Electoral College. It's the reality of how American elections for president have worked for more than 230 years. And our citizens and our parties and our candidates, everyone who's operating covering the election, works within these constraints. That's how it works. That's one of the sort of ground truths of this election. The other ground truth that defines this election and the campaign right now is that one of the two candidates has shown us and told us he will not commit to a peaceful transfer of power. Harris-Walz's campaign is, I think it's fair to say, running uphill, in other words. The thing is, the only option for Kamala Harris and Democrats and the pro-democracy coalition, Popular Front, the only thing they can do is to organize and mobilize and persuade voters, use democratic means to save democracy. And if they win, they can and should strongly defend that victory in court. And if they lose, which is a real possibility, they then must peacefully transfer power. That's the way it works. Those are the only options on the table. However, we also shouldn't ignore how nuts all this truly is. I mean, first of all, the Electoral College is a genuinely perverse system. It's sort of jerry-rigged compromise at the founding convention that we commemorate today on Constitution Day between slave states and small states and everyone else. And it results in a world in which we often end up with what is essentially minority rule, particularly in this era. Look at the results over the last 30 years. Since the fall of the Berlin Wall, we've had 8 presidential national elections. The Democratic candidate won the popular vote every time except one, when George W. Bush was reelected in 2004. Of course, Republicans have won the presidency more than once, as you might recall. Thanks to the Electoral College, they got 3 terms in office, 2000, 2004, and 2016. Not to mention a supermajority on the Supreme Court. To put it another way, in 30 years, the Republican Party was only able to build a true national majority once, but they held the highest office in the land for 12 years. It's a pretty sweet deal. And let's look at the last 2 elections, right? In 2016, nearly 3 million more Americans, more of our fellow citizens, voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. Again, thanks to the Electoral College, he became president, made it the Oval Office. In 2020, Joe Biden won with a popular margin of over 7 million votes. Now, the nature of the two coalitions right now and the way it interacts with the Electoral College, the Electoral College is a kind of like plus few points handicap for the Republicans, right? An incredible weight on one side. Depending on how all this shakes out this year, we'll see. Kamala Harris will probably have to win 4 or 5 million more votes than Donald Trump to actually win the election, secure victory, and be sworn in as president.
You know, listening to his analysis of the Electoral College reminds me of how it is to be black in America. It's like the Democrats are the black people, and the Republicans are the white people. Republicans just do enough to secure those swing states so they can win the electoral vote. Whereas the Democrats, majority of the time, which is literally 99% of the time, we win the popular vote. But lose because of the Electoral College. Because in a way, that's the way the system is fixed. In order for the Democrats to win, we have to win by at least 7, 8 million votes, more than the other guys. It's just like us. We have to be 10 times as smart, 10 times more talented, 10 times more everything, maybe get on equal footing with white people. How's that fair again? We have to work 10 times harder to do everything just because of the color of our skin. Being on the level you are at is not enough. You can be a D student, we can be an A+, and still not get the job. Why is that?